For all of my DIYers out there, I just heard snap, crackle, and pop. You don't want to do that. Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. Firstly, I just want to address the hairstyle real quick. This used to be my favorite hairstyle. I used to wear my hair like this all of the time. But my bangs, my hair kind of got a little bit too long in the front to wear the bangs. I'm just improvising right now. I don't even know if I truly like it anymore. Y'all let me know if this is still a look or if it ever was a look. I feel like I just really liked it for some reason. Anyways, moving on. Today I'm going to be sharing with y'all 5 retie mistakes to avoid. I have made every single one of these mistakes, so don't even feel bad if you have done some of these things. It's not the end of the world. Let's just try to do better, you and I. And that's the whole point of this video. I don't want anybody to feel bad if you have made these mistakes, because trust me, I have too. Mistake number 1 is quite obvious. I unfortunately fell victim to this mistake, and that is not having a retightening schedule, specifically going too long in between reties. It is no secret to everybody on my channel that I messed up really bad. Lost a couple of locks, but it's okay. We have been regrouping. I am regrouped now. Anyways, like I was saying, I unfortunately went too long in between reties, and that caused a lot of problems. My main problem with going in between reties for too long was the fact that my locks got married at the root. I had quite a few locks that were just stuck together. It looked like a two-headed dragon. I have a whole video on it. I'll have it linked in the cards and also in the description of this video. If you want to see that, then you can. But like I was saying, going way too long in between your reties can cause marrying at the root, because your locks have so much new growth and it's not very controlled, so it's very easy for it to just tangle up onto each other. So if you don't want that to happen to you, make sure that you are keeping up with your reties. Not keeping up with your reties can cause just the overall integrity of your lock to change. Your lock will no longer be as symmetrical as it can be, because you have all this fresh new growth and then you have just the regular lock. And so whenever you retighten this, it's going to be really, really skinny, and then the rest of your lock is going to be its normal size. That can cause like a little bit of discrepancies in between the integrity of your lock, because it will no longer be as uniform as it can be, because you just went like 4 weeks in between this retie, but then you went 6 months in between this retie. So it's gonna look different. It's gonna make your locks change a little bit. On the opposite end of the spectrum, you can retie your hair too often. So that is my second tip. Do not do that. Retwisting your hair too often can cause a little bit of strain on your hair follicles, and it could make the root of your locks a little bit weaker. So you don't want to be going too long in between reties, but you also don't want to be doing it too often. Most people that do it too often, they just don't like the look of the frizz. If that's you, maybe locks are just not for you, period, because there are going to be times that it's going to be frizzy, it's not going to be very neat, and you're just going to have to go with the flow with that. So make sure you're not going too long in between reties, and also make sure that you're not retightening too often, because both can be problems. Honestly, for me, I found with my hair grows pretty fast, and I would say about 6 weeks is like the happy medium for me. 6 to 8 weeks for me is what's best. If your hair grows a little bit slower, maybe 10 weeks. If it grows super fast, I honestly wouldn't go over 6 weeks, to be honest, but that's just me. I feel like 4 weeks is a little bit too soon, unless you just have crazy growth. I feel like 6 weeks is like the perfect amount of time. Let me know in the comments down below how often you retie your hair. I'm really curious. And also let me know if your hair grows really fast, slow, or if it's just in between, like an average amount of hair growth, you know? The third mistake that I would avoid is retying too tight. This has happened to me quite a few times, and to fix it, you just have to literally go back and undo the knot that you made. Doing this is really important. You don't want to cause any kind of excessive strain on your roots, because your roots, where the new growth is coming out, and you don't want to cause any kind of stress on them. So make sure that you're not retying too tight, and if you do, go ahead and take the time to undo it, because you don't want to leave it like that. After your reties, you shouldn't have this massive headache. If you're a little tender-headed like me, you may have like a little bit of a headache, but you should not be just completely immobile because your head hurts so much. If that's the case for you, you're probably doing it too tight. The fourth retie mistake that I have made and that I encourage y'all not to make is retying your hair when your hair is dry. You never want to do any kind of manipulation to dry hair, first of all, whether you are locked or just a loose natural, period. Before you retie your hair, you don't have to do your complete moisturizing routine or anything like that, but at least spray some water on it. You don't want to retie your hair with dry locks. I could just imagine, whenever I tried to retie my hair when it was dry, I just heard snap, crackle, and pop. You don't want to do that. So always just try to spray your hair with some water real quick. Maybe put a little bit of oil in it. But like I said, you don't need to do your whole extensive moisturizer routine. Just don't do it while hair is dry. So the fifth retie mistake that I encourage y'all to avoid is retying your hair while you're tired or you're just not in the best mood. For all of my DIYers out there, whenever you retie your hair, make sure that you schedule it in on a day where you know, okay, I have the time to do this and I'm gonna take my time, because if you're not being patient, it's honestly gonna take you twice as long to do it, because when you're not patient, 9 times out of 10 you make a lot of mistakes. You might marry some locks together at the root. You may not be reinforcing your parts the right way. Having patience is key. Those are my 5 retie mistakes to avoid. Let me know in the comments down below if you related to any of these. Also, if you have any other mistakes that you want to share, don't be shy. Leave a comment down below. If you have any other video requests regarding my lock tips series, leave it down below and I will try to get to it. I'll talk to y'all in my next video, and I'm out.
If you're doing what everyone else is doing, you're doing it wrong.
One of the best to ever do it.